This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. 17. For the Most High Power, Yahweh, have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High Power, Yahweh, shall be fulfilled. 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Ruel, and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth, and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. Our brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought up that scripture, those scriptures, right, in the book of Revelation chapter 17, is I came across this article recently where the title speaks for itself. It says a U.S. military convoy comes under fire of Turkey-backed militants in Syria. No casualties, Russian Ministry of Defense reports. And Turkey is a NATO member. And this is just going to show you that we're in the beginning stages of these NATO members, which is the beast, according to the Bible. They're going to turn on the whore, which is America. And that's why we come out week in and week out to prophesy against America, which is Babylon, the whore that sitteth upon many waters, because it's biblical. It's part of prophecy. And that's what we're in. We're in prophecy. So let's get into this article. And that's why we tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, you better get your head out of your 4-point of contact. It's getting real. All right? Turkey is a NATO member, and their backed militants are attacking America. And why is that? Well, in this article, before I get to that one, it says right here, this is from the Defense News, U.S.-Turkey alliance in downward spiral as Congress molds sanctions. Right, because Congress passed a bill to sanction Turkey a couple of days ago. And how coincidental, all of a sudden, how convenient, shots fired from Turkey-backed militants. It's getting real out there. All right, so let's get into this article. U.S. military convoy comes under fire of Turkey-backed militants in Syria, no casualties. Russian MOD, which means Ministry of Defense. American troops headed toward the Iraqi border have been attacked from land held by Turkish-backed militants in northern Syria. Russian Ministry of Defense has claimed. The attack comes amid of a U.S. withdrawal from the region. The convoy was traveling along the M4 motorway, which runs parallel to the Turkish border through land captured by Turkey during its anti-Kurdish Peace Spring offensive last month. Right. And if you haven't been paying attention to current events, all right, Turkey and the Kurdish have always been enmity with each other. And Turkey always complained to America, why are you supporting the Kurds when we're against them? Aren't we your NATO member, NATO ally? But of course, America wants to have, what's that terminology? They want to eat their cake too, So, that terminology, you know what I'm talking about, all right? They want to have their cake too. America's playing both sides of the fence, and Turkey is getting irritated. And Turkey's a NATO member, which is part of the beast, okay? it continues on and says, when it was attacked near the town of Tel Tamer, the ministry reported on Sunday, quote, as part of a deconfliction exchange, information has been received from the U.S. side that on November 3rd, a convoy of American servicemen was fired upon from the territory controlled by pro-Turkish Syrian National Army. Read a statement from the ministry. Nobody was hurt in the incident. Right, these are the shots fired, warning shots to the American military from Turkey. All right? Basically what Turkey's saying is you're in no position to be, all right, backing the Kurdish slash Syrian democratic forces that are against Assad. All right? And really what it is that Russia and Turkey are now in alliance with each other. And this is just Russia and Turkey just, punking America. You either get in line or get hurt badly. And this reminds me, wait, I got another scripture that comes. Because you got to understand, Turkey and Russia are in alliance with each other. They're patrolling the border between Turkey and Syria. All right? This is the book, and this goes to the Ezekiel. That's why you got to get in prophecy, and then you got to get into current events to see what's going on. This is the book of Ezekiel, not Ezekiel. Yeah, Ezekiel 38. Excuse me, Ezekiel 38. Yeah, Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Right. And Gog, okay, the land of Magog, that's talking about the Russians because they dwell in that region. All you got to do is Google ancient Gog and Magog, and where is it located at? Right where the Russians are located at, which proves this is a future prophecy talking about the Russians. 3. And thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, behold, I'm against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy armies, horses and horsemen, all them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Right. And Tubal is the Turkish, the modern day Turkish. Okay? And what you're seeing an alliance. And they're all coming together under the Russians to punk you Americans, all right? You Babylonians. You modern day Babylonians, or you modern day pharaohs, okay? So, we're living in the last days, and reading articles like this proves that all hell's about to break loose. You Americans ain't gonna make it. It goes on and says, 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. Right, Persia, which are the Iranians, Ethiopia, and Libya, these are African nations, right, the Hamites, with them, all of them with shield and helmet, right, and there's plenty of news articles, I'm not going to get it, where the African nations, which go back to Ham, they're in alliance, all right, they're in agreement with Russia, which are Magog and Gog, proving this prophecy is being fulfilled right before your eyes. 6, Gomorrah and all his bands, the house of Gomorrah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Right, a lot of the European nations, all right, especially in East Eurasia, like the Stan nations, all right, Kyrgyzstan. Okay, you know what? Let's get how many what countries are in Eurasia? Just to name a few. I'm just going with the spirit. Really, I only saw like 2 scriptures that came to my mind when I was coming across this article, but of course it's going with the spirit and bringing out Eurasian countries. Eurasian countries, here we go. You got Kyrgyzstan, all right, Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan, you have Russia, of course Russians are in Afghanistan. And more Afghanistan is leaning towards the east. Is there any more? Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan. All right, all these Stan countries. All right? and more European countries are going to align with the Russians in these last days. So just throwing, just the Eurasia country, excuse me, just to give you an idea of all these European countries are aligning themselves with Europe, with Russia. Continuing on, it goes on and says, 7. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy companies that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right. And that's the reason why Turkey is able to do stuff like this, because Russia's backing them. And America, you're just going to sit there and get shot at and be a punk, get punked out because you're weak. All right. And everybody sees that you're weak. That's why they're doing stuff like this. Your own NATO ally member is allowing their militants to put shots at you, and you ain't gonna do shit because the Russians are right there. Like, what's up? Do something. The report exchange took place amid an American withdrawal from northern Syria, where U.S. forces fought alongside Kurdish militias against Islamic State, IS, formerly ISIS. U.S. President Donald Trump's withdrawal was heavily criticized for effectively greenlighting a Turkish military crackdown against the Kurds, whom it considers terrorists, right? For many decades, and all right, and it goes back even to the Ottoman Empire, right? They've had so much hatred towards each other. Since the withdrawal was announced, not all U.S. forces in Syria have packed up and headed for Iraq, as a convoy hit on Sunday apparently did. As the convoy hit on Sunday apparently did. Some have been deployed elsewhere in the country to guard oil fields, keeping them in Kurdish American hands. Right, that's another reason why shots are being fired, because everybody wants that oil field, and America, you're now public enemy number one among these nations. All right, especially between Russia, the Assad government, which that's their land, by the way, and Iran, and now Turkey, because Turkey wants that oil too. Don't get it twisted. Turkey wants that oil too, because all these countries are in heavy debt, and they're in debt burden, and now they're looking for resources, and now that oil is looking mighty fine. America, are you giving them their resources? Are you giving resources to the Turkish? Why do they shoot at you? Think about that. President Trump explained his rationale for leaving some forces behind to pull guard duty on Friday, telling reporters, "I like oil, we're keeping the oil." Yeah, and that greed, that pump. That reminds me of the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Before a ceasefire halted Turkey's northern Syria crackdown, the Pentagon reported American troops shelled from Turkish positions last month. Sunday's contact has not been acknowledged or commented upon by Washington. Right, because this will mess up NATO big time. All right, let me get this scripture up, and it reminds me of Obadiah, because, hey man, all these nations are at your neck now, America. You are now the target. You are now, all right, the enemy. So Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, concerning Edom. And the chief house of Edom is here in America, Babylon, also known as spiritual Egypt, also known as Basra. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise, ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Right? And these nations, man, they got that spirit of going against you in battle. 2, behold, I made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Right? All these nations don't like you, Americans, anymore. All right? Even your own people don't like you, man. Esau against Esau. All right? But you are the main enemy, America. Okay? And that's why when this country gets destroyed, you people get hit with the nukes. Your power structure, Edom as a whole, is done for. 3, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. Right, that's why you call yourself Caucasian, Caucasus Mountains. Think about it. Esau, Edom. So-called white people today. The pride of the heart have deceived thee. Right, you're some prideful people. You're some prideful sons of bitches, man. And that's why the Lord's doing what he's doing in America and abroad. Breaking you down brick by brick. Taking that pride away from you. Day by day. Your country's $23 trillion in debt. In fact, I saw a report that now Donald Trump took the mantle of king of debt. But you want to be proud to be an American? Interesting. Your military soldiers, active military, are killing themselves. Suicide are all-time high. You know what? Let's Google that. I ain't making this up. Let's Google that. Let's Google. Military soldiers, follow along with me, suicide. Suicide. Yeah. News. Military has a suicide problem. 3 Alaska soldier deaths over the weekend. Report, they don't even have an answer why these soldiers are killing themselves. Let's continue on. Veteran suicide continues to increase. You even got veterans killing themselves. Let's do active military Yeah, active. Let's do that one. Excuse me. Active military suicide. Let's just do that one. New York Times. Suicide has been deadlier than combat for the military. Suicide, a growing crisis for veterans and service members alike. The war inside. America's veteran suicide epidemic has a silent, unaddressed cause, right? Your veterans, because they realize, and this is bullshit. Just like me. You know, I served in your bullshit satanic military, and I realized, you know, when I got out that this was all lies. I was serving lies, man. Same thing. On the rise. I did a video on this because let's do all. Yeah, active duty suicide is on the rise. The Pentagon. Yeah, here we go. Washington Post, military time. Hey, military times. This is nonpartisan. This is bipartisan. Active duty suicide on the rise as the Pentagon works on new messaging and strategy. Look at that. All right, that's enough. That's enough. All right? That pride is being taken away from you Americans, man. The pride in thy heart, back to Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride in thy heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in thy heart, who shall bring me down? The Lord's bringing you down. Why is it? The Lord's doing this. The God of the Bible, the God of Israel is doing this. All right? And he's using his prophets by pushing out the word to bring your kingdom down. 4. Thou that exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou that set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right. Once you started shooting your rockets into space and getting into the space stations and building all that bullshit, that's when the Lord started bringing your kingdom down. 5. If these come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the great gatherers come thee, would they not leave some graves? Right, the Lord is giving an example. Like robbers and grape gatherers, they grab what they need and they leave the rest. You Edomites keep taking and taking. That's why Donald Trump says we want the oil. Wait a minute, but I thought you had a lot of plenty of oil here in America, in Alaska, and in Texas. It's because you are the Edomites and you're wicked and you want everything to yourself. And that's why the Lord's bringing you down. By putting you in the Middle East and getting you put into this third world war. 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right. How are you being exposed? How is your dirty closets being revealed? How's your skeletons in your closets being revealed? Via the prophets. By Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And the prophets, really, what the prophets do is we use your own news media against you. Really, think about that. All the sources, all the hard work of statistics, all the hard, what's it called? Investigation. That's a good word. Investigation by your people. Your people are doing investigation. We just use it and then cut you with the scriptures. You see? Look what's going on in your country. You see? Look what's going on abroad. Look what Turkey's doing. We're not writing these reports. Your people are. And you're being exposed, and that's why you're going down. Because the Bible, we use the Bible to condemn your bullshit system. 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Right, you're at the border of Turkey. That's why they putting bullets in your ass. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Right, Turkey was acting like they were cool with you, but now they fucking with the Russians now. All right, having a good time with the Russians. Huh? Europe's divided. Them Europeans can't stand you Americans. Go over there and be proud to be American. See what happens to you in Europe, man. Go over there and test those waters. Proud ass Americans. And you know, anybody who travels to Europe, all right, if you're American, okay, if you ain't got no security, if you ain't got no entourage, you quiet as a mouse. Just having a good time in your little bullshit ass tourism, and then you're fleeing like a rat, like a mouse you are, like a bitch you are. Them Europeans want to put a foot in your ass too. Right? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men of that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him right. And that's what's coming, man. You've been deceived, America. You stretched out your military so thin. All right, all these nations you were confederate with, they're turning against you. And every day, more and more people are waking up about the problems going on in the country, and they want to have someone to blame, and everyone's blaming you, America. You, Babylon, which is known as spiritual Egypt, and Sodom. And that's why you're going down. 8. Shall not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau. Right. You don't have the answers anymore. You don't have a goddamn answer anymore. 9. And thy mighty man, O Timon, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Right, and that's what's coming. You're going to be cut off by slaughter. War. Pestilence. Earthquakes. 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right, what you're doing to the children of Israel. The oppression. Okay? The injustice. That's why all hell's breaking loose. That's why you got Turkey putting rounds, okay, into your military. And this is only going to intensify. Don't get it twisted, man. We're living in the last days. So Lord willing is edifying. Hey, I went around a couple of directions, but hey, the point is, all comes together. America, you're going down. Turkey, back militants, opening fire on y'all. What's going on with that? Huh? What's going on with your NATO members? Hey, the beast shall hate the whore. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rukah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Rubel, and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Yakim out there pushing this truth to sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. As you can see, we're almost out of here. Shalom and a Baba Ball. Shalom.